Celebrity Cruise Lines is getting into the weekend cruiser game, and they're going to be headed to Perfect Day CocoCay. Hey everybody, this is Brandon, the Weekend Cruiser, where I go on a weekend cruise just about every weekend. So I've been following this very closely with Celebrity Cruise Lines coming out that they're going to be making a really big splash in the weekend cruise market. Now you may have listened to some of my lives where I talked about the Silhouette coming out in January of 2025, actually December of 2024, that's going to start doing weekend cruises. And I was very curious how this was going to work on Celebrity Cruise Lines, and I think we're getting a lot of our answers now on how that's going to look through. Now, let's talk about what the announcement was that Celebrity came out with today. The first thing that they came out with is the Celebrity Reflection is going to be doing 3 and 4 night sailings out of Fort Lauderdale starting in April of 2024. That means that it's going to be doing a Friday to Monday sailing that's going to go to the Bahamas, and then a Monday to Friday sailing that is also going to go to the Bahamas. Currently, they're slated to go to Bimini, but I think it's probably safe to say anywhere you see Bimini listed in this cruise voyage, even if you look at the Silhouette for late 2024, 2025, they're probably going to be switching those over to CocoCay now because that's where the Reflection is going to be going on its weekend sailings. The second thing that they made an announcement about is that the Celebrity Beyond, one of their new ships, is going to be home porting in the Caribbean year-round now. And so that ship will also, on probably, I think they said it was doing 6 and 8 night cruises, is also going to be going to Perfect Day at CocoCay. Now, on the surface, in reading these emails, they're telling me, or they're telling all of us, that this has caused guests have requested on Celebrity Cruise Lines to go to Perfect Day at CocoCay, and I just kind of scratched my head a little bit on that. I understand marketing and they have to make it sound great and everything, but I kind of feel like they're gaslighting us on this some. So if you were on Celebrity Cruise Line and you wanted to go to Perfect Day CocoCay, you probably would just choose to go on a Royal Caribbean ship because you're coming with kids and going after people that would probably have a better time on Royal Caribbean. So I think that this comes down to just sheer profit, and from a profit and revenue perspective, I think it's kind of genius a little bit, though I don't see how it lines up with Celebrity. So everybody keeps telling me how Celebrity is for people of my age, there's less kids, there's all this great stuff, it's a more sophisticated, laid-back environment. I don't see CocoCay playing into that. So when I think of CocoCay, I'm thinking of Thrill Water Park. It is the first thing you see when you walk out there. I think of the ropes course, I think of jet skis. There's all these things that I just go, that doesn't sound like the Celebrity crowd. So I'm going to be very curious to see how all this plays out. Now let's talk about some of the downstream impacts that this decision to go to Perfect Day CocoCay is going to change. The first thing that it's going to change is there's going to be some canceled cruises. So for those folks that are on the Reflection, or maybe you are on the Beyond over in, I believe they were going to Greece, your cruise is going to be canceled so that they can change the deployment schedule. This is not uncommon for cruise lines to do, and it's one of the risks to take in cruises is they could be chartered, they could be redeployed, they could be canceled for maintenance, who knows, but they're going to have a lot of cancellations to be able to move these ships into the Caribbean. The second thing that we're going to see as a downstream impact is we're going to see Celebrity start being more kid-friendly. So if they are going to CocoCay, that is a place where kids want to go. That is a place where on spring vacations, during the summer months, you're probably going to see those cruises that are going to these locations going to CocoCay with more kids on them. And I think that it'll work out good for those parents with kids that want a higher end, sophisticated environment, though I worry the quality may slip a little bit if we start seeing too many kids. But for those parents who want a little bit more sophistication, maybe a little bit quieter of a ship while it lasts, this might be a good place for them to bring their kids. As much as I hate to say that, I think that that's where this is going to go. And I also start going, gee, I wonder when Celebrity is going to start having a kids sell free promotion to bring more kids during these seasons. It is also the third downstream impact. It is now solidified that the Silhouette that I was talking about for weekend cruises, curious how that was going to look. We now know that the Celebrity Reflection, when it starts doing weekend cruises, is going to be a booze cruise. I thought maybe it'd be a little bit more sophisticated, more fancy. No, it's going to be going to Perfect Day CocoCay, so there will be very little to distinguish it from Freedom, from Allure, from Independence, from Navigator when it did weekends. it is going to be about the same crowd because it's doing the same exact itinerary. And I will tell you, when you go to Perfect Day at CocoCay, the first thing that you do if you go on a cruise ship is you buy the drink package because you can use it when you're at CocoCay. And so from a revenue perspective, they're really going to jack up the revenue here. And I think that we're going to see that not only in people buying the drink packages on these ships, but I think another impact it's going to have is just the cost of everything in CocoCay is going to go up. As you all know, going to CocoCay itself is free. It's complimentary with your cruise fare. Though if you want to do the Thrill Water Park, jet skis, rope courses, cabanas, you want to do the overwater cabanas, you want to do the beach club, you're going to pay extra for those. And so by having more ships go there, it is a simple supply and demand chart that there will be more days where there's going to be 2 ships in port. They're going to have to start squeezing them together. And when you have more people going to CocoCay, Royal Caribbean's dynamic pricing model, which says, hey, if I only have 3 of these left, I'm going to bump up the price, it's going to change and it's going to go up. I also, and this is very stereotyping of me, believe that people that go on celebrity cruise lines, because they are more senior, maybe a little bit, an older crowd who are more in retirement age, they're going to have more money. So if they want to pay for, that increased cost for one of the cabanas, for instance, they're going to have the funding to do that, which is also going to bring up the premium that people on Royal Caribbean are paying. So if there is, a Royal Caribbean ship there and a celebrity ship, which will be interesting, I think that the cost is going to naturally go up because celebrity folks can probably pay a little bit more. And so the Royal Caribbean folks are going to feel a little bit more squeezed than they have in the past. I do wonder if the point of sale systems, the computers they have on the island, are going to be able to handle 2 ships at the same time. I've not done the research to see if there will be 2 ships there from different cruise lines at the same time. But if the Reflection's doing weekends, you've got the Allure doing weekends, you've got the Freedom doing weekends at that time, I think that at one point, somebody's going to have to be there at the same time with the Celebrity Reflection. And my final thought on all this is, why didn't they just say, let's go to Labadee? I think that if they would have told me that Celebrity was going over to Labadee, Haiti, that would have made a lot more sense to me. I think that that island and the way that it operates fits more into a celebrity cruise line model versus when I think of Perfect Day CocoCay, I don't think celebrity. I don't think celebrity crowd at all. I understand for a weekend cruise, Labadee's too far away, unfortunately, but for the 7-night or 6 and 8 night beyond, that was certainly a possibility. Maybe that's going to be another announcement that's going to come out, or maybe we're going to continue to see more joint ventures between Royal Caribbean and Caribbean. So those are my initial thoughts on celebrity cruise lines heading over to Perfect Day at CocoCay. I think it is a wonderful situation for Royal Caribbean International to make better use of CocoCay and to be able to drive their revenue and their profits. I just worry that the guest experience, especially on Celebrity with more kids coming on and with Royal Caribbean having to pay a little bit more money for everything, that it might not go over as well as they like. I hope that it does, but it's going to be really interesting to see how this strategy of making Celebrity Cruise Line more kid-friendly plays out into the long-term marketing strategy of Celebrity Cruise Lines. All right, everybody, this is Brandon, the Weekend Cruiser. Looking forward to seeing you on a Celebrity Weekend Cruise soon.